addicted to you, hooked on your love, like a powerful drug. I can't get enough. I'm addicted to you.
Okay, now we'll be talking about how to set up the departments. Departments is extremely important in .Connect personnel because that is how you manage all your employees, all your staffs, their salaries. So setting up the departments properly is extremely important. And how do we do that? First from the home, we click on the department tab and under setup. Now, first and foremost, you see that we have about 6 different tabs in here: department designation, grade, performance, roles, and shifts. I'll explain most of this to you. So in departments, first thing we do is to create the department name. So for example, let's call this department factory, for example. Okay. Now, under the fact, once you've created the department name, it asks for the parent department. Is it related to anything? If it is, you can pretty much add it to any other department that you want as a child. Then you have to add working days in a month. The reason for this is so that we can effectively calculate overtime pay. .Connect does an efficient job of calculating overtime pay and overtime hours. So you have to say, okay, how many days are they working in a month? You can say, okay, fine. In factory, they do maybe 20 days in a month, and they work, let's say, for example, 10-hour days. And that's it. So we only require this limited information regarding departments because everything else will be linking to it. Now, once you create the department, now you can remember, like I said earlier, staffs are linked to it. Now let's look at the designation tab. Now, designation tab is basically the different roles or different designations that you give people in your organization. For example, let's say you have cashiers, caterers, CEOs. You can even have something like an officer, maybe just an officer. It's just a regular designation that we can use to track our employees. And you can say, okay, you can say maybe line officer, for example, a line officer, but it only works for maybe which department, whatever department you want to choose, you can choose it in here. Now, if you choose select one, it applies to all departments. Once you click on select one, if you don't choose anything here, it applies to all departments. So all you have to do, we just click on load data and it's already added. Now we can also look at leave by designation. You can say, okay, in some companies they grant leaves by designation, like if you're a manager, if you're an officer, if you're an MD, all that good stuff. They may say, okay, you have you allow different types of leaves. Now and this is where you create them. Now also you can, once we look at it, the grade function, the grade tab, you can create the different grades in your organization. Like this company here has multiple grades in there, and it says, remember how I said that once you click on it, once you leave it as select one, it applies to all departments. So you can create a brand new grade. You must say which grade is the next grade, and this is designed for promotion purposes. So that way okay, from exit 18, the next grade to go to is exit 19. And also for approval, because whenever somebody from this grade start line seeks an approval, anybody above that grade can approve it. And that's how .Connect works. Yes, we also have performances. This is basically for key performance indexes. You can always add your own. It's very, very easy. You can relate it to a department. You can relate it to a grade. And it's actually very, very self-explanatory. Roles. Basically, these are the different roles that we have in the company. Now, let's talk about shifts. Shifting is extremely important too in every company. Now, even if you don't run a shift system, basically you still run because everybody must still resume at a certain time and close by a certain time. especially if you use biometrics attendance or whichever attendance systems that you use. But .Connect personnel can effectively track all this in that you can create a brand new shift. You can call it, let's say, um, for example, let's call it late shift. Um, we can say, okay, the late shift works on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they start their shift at, let's say, maybe let's just say maybe 5 o'clock in the evening, and they end the shift by so 23:59. So for example, they end by 12 o'clock. If they are late, if do you charge a fine if your staff are late? Because if they shows that they are late, you can automatically bill them or charge them, maybe just a small token, just to encourage them to be early. Again, this is just the department setup system. It's quite easy and quite understandable. Thank you.